Hey guys, Winner Kills here, and welcome to a brand new feature match. Here we are in round 2 for my locals this past weekend, and we've got Tri-Brigade on the left versus Ogdoadic on the right. A deck, if I'm being totally honest, that I wish I would see more representation for, because I think it's a really awesome deck. The artwork is fantastic, really cool Xyz toolbox, and can play some really cool Chaos engines as well. So hopefully the deck will get more support very soon, even though it just got a ton of cards, but it would really be nice to see that deck work its way up as a meta contender. But as these guys get ready to roll to see who goes first or second here, let's see who you guys thought was going to be losing this particular match. And right now, as I'm editing this, a majority of you guys are saying that Ogdoadic is going to lose this matchup, which isn't surprising to see. Tri-Brigade is one of the best, if not the best deck, depending on who you ask, this particular format. So let's see if you guys are right here. And I believe Tri-Brigade is going to win the die roll, and as expected, they will want to go first here to set up their Revolt Appaloosa and any other back row or hand traps they may have. Starting off with the normal summon of Nerval, going into Link Karibo, and that will activate Nerval's effect to be able to add any Tri-Beast or Tri-Brigade monster from deck to hand. That'll add Fractal. He's going to go ahead and pitch Fractal, and that's going to allow him to send another Tri-Brigade. That's going to send Kit. Kit will then send Karass. So just Foolish Burial after Foolish Burial after Foolish Burial after Foolish Burial. And for those wondering, this is not a Zodiac build. My friend playing Tri-Brigade here has been kind of back and forth on whether or not he wants to play the Cat build or Zoo, but I think he's been leaning more towards the Zoo build as of late. Just because it is a little bit more versatile, and the Zoo engine can put a lot of Beast Warriors in the grave, and is also very helpful at going second. So, yeah, but this is a Rescue Cat build for those that are wondering. So his turn will just be load the graveyard, set 4, and pass with a Link Karibo. And my friend Sheen, who is now on Ogdoadic, you guys know him as the God tier mutant player. Switching strategies for this week, starting with the normal summon of Nightmare Corruptor Ibli. Which is a card that if it doesn't go unchecked, actually, now that I think of it, won't really do actually, it will do quite a bit. It will shut off Revolt, I was going to say, but he link summons anyways. But Revolt has to special summon, of course, non-links from the grave first before it can then link into the Omen, the Shurig. But that's actually going to force out the Revolt there, which is actually really clutch. Ibli has always low-key been a really strong normal summon, especially going second, because it can force out certain cards and stop cards like Nibiru as well. Man, I miss that card a lot for my time playing it in a deck like Mech Knight. So yeah, obviously the Revolt is going to have to be changed to the summon, and he's going to get a whole bunch of Chain Links Engrave, probably just Kit and Nerval, if I'm being totally honest, and he's also going to get Omen, obviously, for the non-target banish. But our Ogdoadic player is going to activate Droplet in response to hopefully keep that Ibli. But there's everybody's favorite continuous trap card this format, Imperial Order, EIEIO. And that's going to spell game, actually, right then and there. And Ogdoadic losing very quickly due to Imperial Order plus Omen. And we're into a game 2, and as they start here, a quick shout out to Imperium Duelists. If you guys are interested in picking up amazing playmats, deck boxes, dice, binders, backpacks, and more, check them out down at the link below, and you can use my discount code WinnerKills10 off at checkout to save 10% off your entire order and support the channel in the process. Same thing can be said if you guys are buying anything off of tcgplayer.com. If you guys use my affiliate link, which is found in the description of all my videos, you shop and check out using that link, a small bit of the revenue from your purchase will go right back into the channel, and it helps out a ton. And last but not least, consider becoming a member of the channel today for exclusive perks and rewards by clicking that blue join button down below or at the link in the description. So Ogdoadic obviously wanting to go first here, opening with a copy of Snake Rain, arguably the most busted card the deck has access to, getting reprinted in beautiful collector's rare. Discard a card and send 4 reptiles from your deck to the grave, which is insane. A mass Foolish Burial might as well be like kind of a themed painful choice in this situation. Just absolutely insane card. Luckily, it says reptiles and not just any monster, else that card would be long banned. Discarding Go Spell and sending what looks to be a copy of the Naya, the Ogdoadic Remnant, a copy of Nunu, the Ogdoadic Remnant, and then we're going to see him dump a copy of Alarit, the Ogdoadic Dark, and we'll see what his fourth and final send will be, probably explaining to his opponent what these cards do exactly. And I have to have EDO Pro pulled up as well, because it's been a couple months since I've commentated over an Ogdoadic duel. So I don't really remember what a lot of these cards do, if I'm being totally honest. It looks like the last card he's sending is Curse, the Ogdoadic Light. So dumping 2 of the level 8s and 2 of the level 4s, Naya and Nunu. And the one really good end-engine card that pairs well with Snake Rain is the Ogdoadic Water Lily, which basically says send a reptile from your deck to the grave. Then, if you have 5 or more reptile monsters with different names in your graveyard, you can special summon a reptile monster from your grave. And lo and behold, he's going to be able to follow up with the Ogdoadic Water Lily. For some reason, I like saying that in an Australian accent. But we'll go ahead and get to send one. And then, because the way the card is worded, if he sends the 5th, then he will be able to go ahead and revive one from the grave. So just now debating on what copy of a reptile monster he wants to go ahead and foolish. He's got 4 different names in grave right now. So obviously he wants to use the reborn effect. He'll have to send another one with a different name. So he could go ahead and send the Queen. He could send the King. He could send the Ogdoadic Overlord. He could send Flogos or Zoha. And it looks like he's sending a copy of either King or Queen. I'm going to go ahead and say that that is the King. And the King and Queen are actually some really decent boss monsters for the deck. A lot of people know that the Ogdoadic cards tend to give your opponents cards via reviving them from the grave or allowing them to draw a card. But the King and Queen do allow you to actually punish and sort of neutralize those seemingly negative effects that the deck can sort of bring on its own. It just all depends on how you sequence your board. So we'll see him revive Curse, and Curse will attempt to activate to target a level 4 or lower Ogdoadic in the grave and bring it back. And that is going to be hit with an Imperm, which isn't such a big deal. I mean, it is. It's going to stop him from getting into a rank 4 play. Ideally going for King of the Feral Imps, which I know this deck plays quite a bit. But looks like he's just going to go ahead and bring out the Nunu, where it says, if you control no monsters or you control an Ogdoadic monster, you can special summon this card from your graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. Also, you cannot special summon monsters except reptile monsters while this face-up card, while this card is face-up in the monster zone. So he's just going to go ahead and revive that one back for free. And we'll see what he does next. Looks like he's going for a Link 2, and of course, Nunu getting banished because of its own effect. So he probably was going to revive the Naya with the Curse and then bring back the Nunu and probably go for a King of Feral Imps, something like that. But we're actually going to see him link into the Alien Shock Trooper M-Frame, a card that I think this is like the first time this card has ever been seen on the channel in any way, shape, or form. As we see Black Dragon, Collapse Serpent, Banish Curse to summon itself. And then we're going to see a copy of the Alarit send off the black to go ahead and special summon it. Yeah, this card in your graveyard tribute 1 monster, special summon this card. Then your opponent can add a monster from their grave to their hand, which it currently doesn't have. And then if this card is special summon, you can target 2 of your banished monsters, including a reptile monster, return them to the grave. So we'll be able to search white and also recycle black and get this boss monster onto the field. Not really a boss monster, I guess, but more so of an extender. But Alien Shock Trooper, for those that don't know, it says quick effect, you can discard 1 monster, place an A counter equal to its ruler level on face-up monsters on the field, distributed as you wish. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon non-link reptile monsters with different names from your graveyard up to the number of monsters your opponent controls with A counters. So that can kind of be like a mass monster reborn or a kind of a soul charge if it dies and your opponent has enough A counters. So pretty cool card there. Kind of helps for recovery, and it'll force your opponent to have to deal with it in a different way. Yeah, because if it is destroyed by battle or card effect, so they're going to have to send it or shuffle it back and not trigger that effect. Otherwise, it could be very, very devastating. Just being able to revive a bunch of reptile monsters from the grave, especially Ogdoadic monsters, especially cards like King and Queen. But now we are going to see What looks like to be Curse hit the field, tributing off white, discarding graveyard, tribute a monster, special summon this card. Then your opponent can special summon a monster from the grave, but negate its effects again. No monsters in the grave for our Tri-Brigade player just yet. So he'll be able to bring these 2 monsters back for free. So the Chaos Baby Dragons sort of helping here to aid in some very easy tribute fodder for an extension. Going into number 97, Draglubion now. Which you could argue, like, why go into Draglubion when you could just go into number 38? But of course, this is going to help to just have a bigger board presence. To, you know, if the board does get broken, he's got at least 2 big bodies on field that his opponent's going to have to get over. So Draglubion will activate, allowing him to take 2 dragon number monsters with different names from his extra deck and or graveyard, except itself, special summon one of them, and then attach the other 2 as material. So looks like he's summoning out number 38 and attaching the Numeron dragon to it. I'm assuming that is the going first play. If he was going second, he would probably summon the Numeron dragon and then attach the number 38 to it, allowing him to go for the OTK. And it looks like I might have saw that incorrectly, but I think our Tri-Brigade player just drew Gamma for turn, which could be really, really, really good. Looks like we're going to see Pot of Desires be activated here, which is honestly a really good way to start things, because, like, if you're the Ogdoadic player right now, you're left with a very tough decision. You know, Pot of Desires is not like a super strong engine card for the deck, right? Like something like Barrage, for an example, or, I mean, Tri-Brigade doesn't really play a lot of spells to begin with, or something like Tanky, right? It's just like a card that you kind of have to negate, because why let them just draw 2 more cards? Why let them resolve Pot of Greed, essentially? Like, very, very, like, rough card to see your opponent start with just a number 38 being your only form of interruption at this point. And yeah, of course that's going to get negated. You just can't let him resolve that. And it looks like we're not going to see him activate Gamma here, which is really interesting. I guess arguably just because he doesn't need it, if I'm being totally honest. I mean, his hand looks pretty cracked as is. He's got Rescue Carrot. Rescue Carrot. That's a new card that's going to be coming out. I guarantee it. But yeah, Fractal, dumping Kit, dumping Nerval. Looks like he went to add a Caress. And then he still has 2 Caress left in deck for his Rescue Cat. And actually probably saving the Gamma for the Rescue Cat. Makes a lot of sense too, but looks like the Rescue Cat will resolve, and at that point, if Rescue Cat's resolving, you don't really need the Gamma anyways. So we'll summon out Caress off Farragut, banishing 4. I'm going to go ahead and slap a copy of Shurig onto the board. That's going to trigger a couple effects in the grave. Well, yeah, no, not a couple effects in the grave, because we're not resolving Revolt here, but he'll get that non-target banish. And right now, the number 38, really not a threat. Draglubion can't be targeted, but that's also not really a threat since Shurig doesn't target. The only card I feel like right now that is a bit of a threat is the Shock Trooper, because that can be, again, like a mass Call of the Haunted if it dies. But it doesn't seem like our mutant player wants to use that effect right now, where he can discard a card to place 8 counters equal to its original level on face-up monsters on the field, distributed as he wishes. I mean, imagine if he discarded a level 8 Ogdoadic right now. He could put 8 A counters on to his opponent's cards in any way, shape, or form. And then he could basically special summon non-link reptile monsters with different names from his graveyard up to the number of monsters your opponent controls with A counters. So right now, he'd be able to theoretically load up 3 monsters with A counters, and the Shock Trooper died. He would be able to revive 3 Ogdoadic monsters from the grave. Which I'm sure our Tri-Brigade player is figuring that out right now, as he decides what exactly he wants to banish off of this Shurig. And he's also looking at Access Code in the extra deck, which we know Tri-Brigade, another nickname for the deck, might as well be Access Code Turbo. Yeah, he's going to go ahead and banish the Shock Trooper, which I think is the correct play, because the Draglubion can be outed with the Access Code, since Access Code, it does not have that funny little word written on it that says target, which is going to be pretty bad when dealing with Access Code. We see Cuirass and the Farragut get linked into Bearbrum. He's going to draw into Pankratops, and he's going to go ahead and put back a Twin Twister, since he doesn't really need that. And then he's going to go ahead and use Bearbrum, discarding 2, which is this is an effective Bear Brum that I don't think gets used that often. So we're going to go ahead and revive Fractal from the Banish Zone, and then Fractal is going to activate Banishing 3. Looks like going for... not banishing Farragut here, just banishing 3 except Farragut. Cat, Caress, and I'm not sure what the other card was, probably Nerval. Going into Razevelger, the Desperate Doom Eagle, and not using its effect. And just going to go ahead and link right into Access Code, which is going to be boosted to 5,300. And going to go ahead and get a search here off one of the monsters he just linked with, which I believe is Omen. Yeah, Omen going to add Fractal. Access Code, banishing 2 to blow up 2, and that's just game on board right then and there. Tri-Brigade taking it 2-0, so you guys are correct again and guessing who is going to be the loser this time around. If you guys want to see more of my videos, click on one of the ones popping up on the bottom of the screen right now. And like usual, a big thanks to all of the members that support this channel, and a special thanks goes to our Divine level channel members who go above and beyond to support, and they are Cadillacs84, Pony Stark, and Keith Siggers. Thank you guys so much, as always, for your extremely generous support of this channel.